Tracking this, and again, the number one question that's in our minds as Central Texans is this going to have any effect on us here in Central Texas? And the answer is no. It will not affect us here in Central Texas. It will not affect the state at all. But obviously, the information that we're providing is for the benefit of those that have interests or family and friends in Florida, and of course, just the historic nature of basically getting two major hurricanes in as many weeks hitting Florida. So that is what we were looking at right now. Currently, the storm, you can see some of the outer bands behind our graphic here, are starting to approach the west coast of Florida, but the bulk of the storm right now still remains along the northern parts of the Yucatan Peninsula. Really, since last night, hasn't moved very far. We're talking maybe 100 miles. You can see it's only moving at about 8 miles per hour right now to the east-northeast. You can see the track, and you can see what Milton was doing before it became a hurricane. Remember, we've been talking about this storm for the better part of the last week and a half or so, because for a while there was nothing really to help spur development, and it was just kind of hanging out there in the Bay of Campeche. But again, now we have seen it just in the past 2 days. Just yesterday really went from Category 1 to Category 5. The good news is that it is now down to a Category 4 storm. Those winds are down from 180 down to 155 miles per hour sustained. Again, could still be seeing gusts up to that 180 mile an hour mark, but as far as sustained winds, we're talking 155 right now. Central pressure is up, so things are deteriorating for this storm, which is good. The bad news, of course, is for the folks along the northern coast of the Yucatan Peninsula, seeing potentially 9 feet of storm surge, deadly waves, and again, hurricane force winds coming along through, again, Merida. We're talking Progreso, even now Cancun kind of in the mix with some of those hurricane force winds. But this will move off of the Yucatan here over the next several hours through the rest of the evening tonight into the overnight hours and start making its way off towards Florida. Again, 155 mile an hour sustained winds. Now, the thing is, the ocean waters, the Gulf waters, still very warm, but this will be moving into a less conducive atmosphere for development, which is good because that means it won't be as strong as it is now, hopefully, when it comes into contact with the Florida coast here over the next day or so. So let's go ahead and put this in motion here. You can see it is going to track to the northeast, 150 mile an hour sustained winds as we head through the evening tonight. Still a Category 4 storm, but then as it approaches the coast of Florida, we're going to see things continue to deteriorate here down to 145 miles an hour with the sustained winds. And by the time it gets within about 75 to 100 miles of Tampa, we're talking about winds of about 125 miles per hour. So going down, which obviously is the direction we want. However, 125 mile an hour winds still very dangerous as it comes into contact with that Florida coast. Now put it back in motion. We're still talking about a Category 2 storm as far east as Orlando with 100 mile per hour winds. So any family and friends that are on vacation at Disney World, Universal, obviously there are going to be potentially some evacuation warnings there as well. And again, the thing that I've been saying is if you have family and friends in Florida, please advise them to heed these evacuation warnings because this is a powerful storm, just like Helene. In fact, probably pretty similar to what Helene brought when it came on shore, when this storm comes on shore here over the next day or so. And it's off the peninsula there as we head towards late Thursday morning. Now, as far as the storm surge goes, which again is the part I'm most concerned about, we're still talking 12 feet of storm surge in Tampa. And having spent some time in Tampa, I know there are some low-lying roads that are just feet above the water. I'm thinking of I-275 specifically as it goes over the bay. And again, that storm surge getting funneled in through the bay, that could be very destructive. And of course, lots of homes and businesses just blocks away from the beach. So again, definitely problems when you're talking about potentially 12 feet of storm surge in and around the Tampa area. And again, the rain will add to the problem, 7 to 10 inches for Tampa, 5 to 7 there for the I-4 corridor. And then as it comes offshore there near Daytona, Canaveral, we're talking 7 to 10 inches once again. So this is the sea surface environment we're dealing with. By this time of the year, we usually expect sea surface temperatures in the mid-70s. They're still in the mid-80s. That's how this storm was able to grow up so quickly, and that's what's going to keep it mostly sustained as it moves towards Florida. Again, a lot of wind shear in the atmosphere, which is good for keeping these storm's deteriorating. However, there is still a lot of very warm water this storm is going to move across. And you can see 86 degrees there just off the coast of Florida. So very warm sea surface temperatures. So we're going to continue to watch this. It should still be very powerful when it comes into contact with Florida. So again, any friends and family, advise them to heed those evacuation warnings today. Don't wait until tomorrow. That is your afternoon Milton update. Of course, we'll have more on this at 5 and 6. We'll have another update around 8:30 or 9, and then we will have more on it as we come up with 6 News at 10 tonight. For now, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Farrell.